walked all the way around.
Hey everybody, this is Ryan at Laps, and I got Dave over here, and a lot of you have wanted us to show you all a video on how to get everything cranked back up since the freeze. So we sent out a video on how to drain all of your equipment and what to do with your drain plugs and your heater and your filter and your dial valve and all that. So I've got Dave here. We're going to make this video on what you need to do to get everything started back. So we're going to go over like drain plugs, how to get your equipment refilled and turning everything on in the correct order so that your procedures just are correct and we can try to get through this all together. So I'm going to turn it on over.
Okay guys, so we'll start out with our pump. We're going to put our drain plugs back in our pumps. Very simple. We're just going to screw these back in. We're going to make sure that we have the O-ring. All these are going to have O-rings on them. We're going to want to make sure that O-ring's on there. We're going to screw these back in. One would go here, one would go back here. Then we would fill this pump with water. Then we would put our lid back on. We want to make sure that we have our lid O-ring on our lid. When we go to put that back on, just going to put that on. It's going to look like that. On our heater, drain plug for the heater, going to go right here.
Let me interrupt you 1 second. You're not going to fill your equipment with water until we have all of the drain plugs back into the equipment. So we'll go back over that in just a second.
So we're going to put our drain plug back in our heater. This is our booster pump that's going to drive the cleaners. Drain plug for that. Again, O-rings on the drain plugs. We're just going to screw that back in. A lot of y'all are going to have a drain plug that is going to have like a hexagon, octagon head on it. Usually those are 7/16. You're going to start that, tighten it with that 7/16.
And we're also talking about hand tight. A lot of times people can get a little extra strength when it comes to this. We're not trying to crank it down. It is hand tight and maybe just a little extra. So don't be trying to use like a wrench or a tool and really yanking down on it, or you're going to give me a call and it's going to be a worse day for you than it already could be.
Then we're going to move over to our filter. Again, filters are usually around the bottom. Just a small drain plug, O-ring. We're going to screw that in. Some filters are going to have a bigger drain cap. Some of these things are 1.5 inches, 2 inches big. Again, we just want to screw those on hand tight and just a little bit. You know that a lot of times we've done the half cock on the dial valve up here. So we're just going to mash down and go back into position. I recommend backwashing all filters first before we get, back into our filter position and get it filtering. So again, we're going to get water into our pump.
What's our best way to get water into the pump?
A bucket, water hose, whatever. We want to fill it up. It's only going to fill to the bottom of the pipe right here. You can't fill it all the way up. It's going to run back out. So just get some water in it and help that pump to get started.
It's just about it not being completely bone dry. We need some help for it to pull the water in. So just like Dave said, a bucket of water, a water hose, it is going to come and start coming back from here trying to fall back in. That's totally normal. Like he said, it's only going to be about 2/3 of the way full, maybe only halfway full, so that's normal.
And again, if you have any freezing still going on, you're seeing ice in the pump or anything like that, don't start your equipment up yet. I would say wait till Monday, Sunday afternoon late, or Monday before you start attempting to do anything. PVC piping is still cold. If you lean on it, you could just snap it right off. That's the best advice I can give you today. Any questions that we didn't cover, you're more than welcome to call us at 254-754-4551.
Perfect. All right, guys, so we're just going to leave it at that. And just a quick recap, when you go ahead to fill all of this up, like we said, about halfway here, make sure that the Jandy valves are open. This morning I talked about telling everybody how to close your Jandy valve, so now we want to make sure that can you hand me a Jandy valve just real quick, please? Let me see that, Austin. Also, some of y'all are going to have a drain plug on your equipment for your filter, which would be from the black up is going to be filter. Some of your drain plug looks like this, so don't be scared that it's not just a little baby thumb wing nut. Some of it is really big, so this is a good example of what else is going on. It's the same thing. It's just hand tight. We're not trying to wrench it down. Also, when it comes back to your Jandy valve, so we talk about this a lot. So if I were your pump and the water's flowing back to me, this is exactly what it needs to look like. Off position needs to face out into the yard and the handle needs to be facing the pump. If it is the other way, let me make this happen for you real quick. If off is facing the pump and this Jandy valve handle is facing the yard, you are still turned off. So as soon as you flip that switch and start trying to make the equipment turn on, your water can't go anywhere. So it is vital. This is going to be something that throws a lot of people off. I want to make sure that when you're trying to crank it up, that it needs to look just like this. Off needs to be facing the yard, and this handle needs to be facing the pump. So if I'm the pump, it's going to look just like this. So if you're out here doing your thing and you're looking at it from your perspective, off will be facing you and the handle will be facing the pump. That is correct. So we want to make sure that it's open, your pump is full, your lid is on, all of those nuts are back into place. We're going to turn it on. Everything should be good. Like Dave said, when you're going to turn this on, already have your filter in backwash position. Let's go ahead and get rid of some of that stuff that's in there. That way we're not shooting it right back into the pool. Then it's all back to the normal routine. You know the drill. Your backwash for a few seconds, go back, turn it off, go to rinse, rinse for a few seconds, and now let's get it back into filter. All of you still be extremely wary of your pressure relief valves up on top of your filters. Like Dave was saying, make sure that you're doing this at least Sunday, Monday at a minimum, because we're still having super freezing temperatures, and even though it's not frozen outside, that does not mean that your equipment or this bad boy right here is not nothing but a big old block of ice. So everybody just be patient. If you're running into any problems, don't hesitate to just text us some pictures. You know the number, it's our normal number, it's 254-754-4551. Just give us a call, text us. Text will probably be easier. If you can just text us a picture and a question, we can get right on that. And, like, happy getting it going. All right, peace everybody, let me know.